So Jerry is gone for good, and we will discuss that at the end of the video. Okay, we're gonna do some shopping today. We're gonna check our local thrift stores for materials to winterize the van because it's gonna get cold. And the van, any van can be quite drafty. Alright, so my intentions were to buy like quilts or thick heavy blankets to turn into curtains, but I didn't see any of those in this one. I'm gonna go to some other ones, but I was immediately drawn to these curtains. There was 4 curtain panels. Sorry, I'm in a parking lot. Let me just show you. I don't know, I liked the colors and the vibes, and they're pretty long, and I got 4 of these. So they already have like a loop up here. The back looks like that. They're definitely homemade. But I really like this print. I don't know. I got 4 of them. They were $3 a panel, and they're pretty long panels. So I think I can make that work. All right, my cart at Lowe's. I forgot to mention we stopped at Lowe's. I got me a Mr. Buddy heater. I need something like this just in case. I don't have a fire extinguisher yet, so that will be my safety for now. I want to get some fuel kegs that are refillable, but they don't sell them here. I have to get them on Amazon. So I just got 2 of these for now. And I got this Reflectix because I'm going to sew this inside of my curtain panels. So, yeah, there we go. This is $109. I think this is like $25. This is $11. This is $11. So it's really not that pricey. It's really hard for me to walk past this stuff. I mean, doesn't Charlie she needs a winter jacket, doesn't she? A nice pink one. And then a tiny blue one or brown one for Casper. Oh, look, they have this style too. You know, I'd like to get her that stuff, but I don't really think she needs it. I'd really like to buy her stuff like this, but she would just tear it up. And same for these beds. It would be nice to get her a nice bed, but she would tear it up in the house, and this would take up my whole floor space in the van. So but this is a really nice one. Maybe, should we buy it? It's $60. It feels pretty durable though. I'm gonna sit here and think for a minute. Okay, so I don't need it today. That's what I'm telling myself. I don't need it today. We can come back and buy it when I do need it, okay? Don't need it today. If I buy it today, it's gonna get in the way of me working on winterizing the van. So walk away, Jade. Walk away. So I just kind of put a magnet up there to hold them. I just wanted to see that it would cover the entire opening, and it does. They're kind of hanging crooked. I just have to trim off the bottoms, and that's what the back side looks like. I mean, I'm not fond of this pattern. I like the inside pattern, but it's fun. Let me go inside and see what it looks like. So yeah, see, that'll work. This is pretty thick fabric, and it's 2 pieces, I believe, together. Yeah, I'm hoping it's 2 pieces. I think it is 2 pieces, but it might just be, it might just be 1 piece folded over. I don't know. I have to investigate. No, it's 2. It's 2. It is 2. Okay, so my plan is rip the seam out from one side, okay? And I'm gonna add a layer of this inside between the two layers and then sew the seam back up. That way it just has some extra insulation in there and keep the breeze out, okay? So that is the plan for there. Now, something else I'm thinking about doing, all right? I'm thinking, I plan on attaching this with Velcro, all right? Now, I could just leave it like this and Velcro it up, but I also thought, hey, why don't I put a pool noodle in there? You know, and that'll, I don't know if I'm gonna do that part or not. But I am thinking that maybe I'll put a pool noodle in there at the top and at the bottom so that it will kind of be sturdy and bulky at the top and bottom to help it hang properly. I thought about sand, but then sand would just be too heavy. And so I have 4 of those, all right? 4 panels. So for these, I can put it here and I can close off this area. Now, I want to make something for the back to hang down too, because those doors are going to let air in. So maybe I'll have enough of this left over when I trim the bottoms to where I can piece it together for the back, because you're not going to see the back one. So it doesn't matter if I just patch it together. And I have other scrap fabric. I can make patchwork curtains for back there. But yeah, that's the plan. And all of them's going to have the Reflectix stuff in it. Now for storage, let me show you my idea for that. So over here on the driver's side, if I put the pool noodles in them, they're going to roll up and be firm, you know. So you can't see it. Okay, you can't see it. It's a thin opening here, but it gets wider down at the bottom, okay? So down here, which you can't see, it's okay, just believe me. Just believe me. I'm thinking I could probably slide them in behind my desk, and that, because there's a void going all the way behind my desk, all the way behind it. So I think I can store them there. All right, so I kind of think that I want to wash this fabric first, because it kind of smells like a thrift store. I like to shop at thrift stores, but if you shop at thrift stores, you know they all have that distinctive smell of storage. It smells like old storage. So I think I will wash these and dry these tonight, and I will put them together tomorrow. Okay, so my check engine light came on today. If you've been following my YouTube shorts, then you know that already. And the code is popping PF420, something like that. Basically, the auto parts store said my catalytic converter. But I'm going to troubleshoot some other things before I jump into replacing the catalytic converter, because it has to do with your exhaust. That's what the code is. And they just automatically say your catalytic converter. 9 times out of 10, people will replace their catalytic converters and they're not even bad, okay? It's like a money racket. Oh my God, something feels like it's in my shoe. Hold on. All right, I think it was just dog here. Okay. Anyways, I know that I have an exhaust leak. I've had an exhaust leak the entire time I've had this van for 7-8 years, however long. And it's up front. I'm not a mechanically sound person, knowledgeable person, but I do know that I have an exhaust leak and I have an oil leak, and they haven't stopped me from driving my van successfully, so I just never worried about them. So yeah, we're gonna take the doghouse off and we're gonna look at this stuff, and we're gonna address this first, because from what I was told, the exhaust leak up front is just a couple missing bolts. So I'm going to replace those. And I am going to try to test my catalytic converter to see if it's clogged or broken. And I might run some cleaner for it through the fuel system. But I'm going to do that first before I jump into replacing or removing this catalytic converter. We're going to do the cheap stuff first. Okay, doghouse removed. It's literally just 2 little clamps on the side, and then you just pull it out. I mean, yeah, it has an oil leak, and I'm pretty sure this needs replaced again. This is the thing, this part controls your oil pressure gauge. That thing, you know, hang on, that thing. Now, it went out about 3 or 4 years ago. And what happens is your oil pressure quits gauging. It'll just say empty when it's not. And I replaced that and it worked again. But now when I stop, like at red lights and stuff, it goes all the way down. So it's starting to go out again. I'm thinking maybe the oil leak messes it up. I don't know. But it's not expensive. You literally just buy this, pull this one out, and stick the other one in there. So I know I need to buy one of those. Definitely got an oil leak. That's pretty grody. Got some acorns in there. And yeah, so I'm gonna sit here and just stare at this and fiddle with some things, and I will be right back. It's a little rusty under here. Oh, I really need to take care of that oil leak. This van is self-changing. Somebody said I might have multiple catalytic converters, so I'm trying to see, but I only see the one, I think. Just the one. Should I be worried about that rust? I don't know. Okay, so I learned a lot about this situation yesterday, and I'm gonna try to explain it a little bit now. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people think it is. So the bolts I thought I was missing, I'm not missing them. Apparently Chrysler made this engine to fit a bunch of different types of vehicles, so they have different mounting brackets for different, what is it, a chassis, and different accessories that might have needed to be put there. So that's why they're missing identically on each side, because I don't need them. So I definitely need to fix the oil leak, replace that part. I think the oil leak is causing a lot of my troubles. It's corroding my parts and my gaskets. The gasket here to the exhaust manifold thingy on this side and on that side, that one might not be bad. I don't see oil over there, but the oil is definitely leaking down onto this one, and that's probably causing a lot of my leak. I am gonna test the catalytic converter tonight. Basically, they say wait till dark, drive it around a little while, then pull over it and look under and see if it's glowing red. If it's glowing red, it is bad. If it's not glowing red, chances are good that it's not bad. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna focus on the oil leak first, and I'm gonna find some help with that because I am not a mechanic. So that's it for the engine stuff in this video, because I'm not gonna have anybody be able to look at it until next week. So yeah, to be continued. So I'm pretty upset with myself right now. I got everything set up out here, got my sewing machine out, ready to start working on these insulated curtains. And apparently I put my Velcro in storage. You know, I cleaned one storage out, I still have another one. It's basically somebody else's, I just use it temporarily. Why would I put it in storage? Like, I need Velcro for everything. I don't know why I did that. So that means I have to drive 30 minutes to storage, get my Velcro. If it's there, I mean, it is not in here, not anywhere that I can find. Get my Velcro and drive all the way back. It's Friday. Today is Friday. This video is for Sunday, so that means I've got the rest of today and tomorrow. I'm done by Saturday, and I'm editing and having my video uploaded on Saturday. But this one, it might get uploaded last minute because I haven't started. And now I've got an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before I can get started. Just breathe. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Alright, I'm here. Let's hope that my Velcro is in there. There she is. Now let's go home. I am not a sewer. I know the basics and I know how to make things stay together. That's it. My goal is that it be functional. I don't even care what color thread I'm using. I just put thread in my machine and use it until it runs out. Seriously. Now that I have the top complete, I just hung it in place, and I'm just kind of looking and fiddling with it to see about where I need to trim it off. I'm pretty sure that I want to put a pool noodle in the bottom. I'm not going to put one in the top. So I need to cut this fabric to make a loop so that I can slide my pool noodle in. I'm not measuring or squaring or anything. I'm just kind of heat pressing some lines, and my lines are not straight. Okay, I realize that, but I really don't care. This part is going to be tucked down in the bottom, and yeah, it's fine. Okay, I think this is pretty cool. I don't know if you will, but I'm going to share it with you. Anyway, so I just eyeballed the second curtain as I was sewing the Velcro strip on. And I want you to look at how close I got it. All right, so I've kind of pinned these up here together, the two panels, okay? Look at this. So there's where I sewed the Velcro on. Look, it's like almost identically in the same spot. I just eyeballed it. I think that's pretty cool. I haven't sewed the bottom up yet because I want to use this one as a template on how to cut this one to length. So I'm going to cut this one to length. Then I'm not sure if I'm going to sew the bottom or if I'm going to take the side apart and install the insulation stuff. I'm not sure which I need to do first. Okay, I just had an epiphany. I say this all the time. I'm literally making this up as I go along. So I was going to cut the side out and slide the insulation panel in and then sew the side back. But I don't have to do that, see? Because I trimmed the bottoms off. And I'm glad I trimmed the bottoms off first because now it's open here. It's open. I can just slide my insulation panel up from the bottom. I don't have to take the seams out of this at all. My job just got easier. So much easier. Why didn't somebody tell me that? Y'all supposed to help me out here. Alright, so this is what I bought. I thought it was going to be wide enough. I got the shortest one they had, but it's not quite wide enough. But you know what? I'm not going to double it up to make it the entire width. I'm just going to add this width because I think that's going to be good enough, and I don't want to spend any more money. You know, it's better than nothing, right? Right. Okay, so I lied, alright? Because that's a lot. Even if I put it in the middle, that's a lot. So, I guess I'm going to be having to buy one more roll of this because one roll was enough to do all three areas. But since I'm having to, I guess I'll cut this in half long ways. Add it here, maybe tape it together. If you do this, just get the wider one. They had a wider one. Yeah, whatever. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if my stars are aligned or what today, but I just literally eyeball cut this insulation sheet, and let me just show you. It's almost perfectly straight, okay? Almost. Okay, let's put the edge there. Hold on. Let's weigh this down. Put that there. Put keys here. So this, perfect. I got a little off right here. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. It's the little things that bring me joy. Alright, so I just used some packing tape. That's really all I had on hand was some packing tape and some painter's tape, masking tape, and I don't think that would have been good. But I just went over the seam on this side and on this side, making sure to overlap the edges. And now we gotta try to slide it in there. And it should be like putting a pillowcase on, right? A really long, thin pillow. So I had anticipated this part being really hard and really frustrating, but to my surprise, it was quite easy. I mean, that stuff just went in there smoothly. It's quite hard to sew big projects like this in a tiny space outside like I'm doing. But you know what? I'm making it work. I decided to pin it off at the bottom and sew a line through the reflectant there just to hold it in place. And I really should have sewed one at the top as well. And I do plan on going back and adding a stitch across the top to help hold that in place. Damn. My bobbin's empty. Now my guesstimations and eyeballing didn't work out so great for the bottom flap because it was not long enough to wrap around the pool noodle. So I just decided to stuff the pool noodle inside the curtain and then sew along the bottom of it. Problem solved. All right, listen. I just want to kind of close this up. All right. I'm gonna use some of the seam tape. Basically, you put it down, you iron it, then you put your other piece of fabric over it. You iron it, and it sticks it together. I'm gonna try to fold it and finagle it so that I get some kind of closed screen. Hopefully, screen. Some kind of closed seam, not screen. But overall, I'm happy with how this has turned out. I mean, maybe you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I got this seam tape here, and I'm just ironing it down best I can. It's not straight. It's not perfect. But it's going down, okay? We're trying. Alright. It's down. Now, my thoughts are that I can now peel the backing off. Okay? Backing is off. I have to cut this out for sure. I probably should have cut those out too, but I didn't, so it's fine. Alright, I'm going to start in the middle. I'm just going to double this over. I know you can't see, but use your imagination. This seam probably isn't going to be straight, but I'm fine with that. I just want it closed. Okay, just closed up. After I do this one, I'm going to do the same thing up here, and then I'll sew them together. At least I won't have jagged edges, right? It'll look like some thought went into it. We like to pretend we're professionals pretend we're professional carpenters. We're professional seamstress. Yeah, that's fine. It works. All right. Now, flip this over. See how clean that edge is now? We'll do this one like that. Then we'll smush them together and we'll sew it. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. All right, both edges have been done. Now I'm gonna put another piece of seam tape here, stick these two together, and then I'll run another stitch through there. And that should finish off the bottoms. Okay, one done. You can tell which one's been done. This one's insulated. I mean, you can see a little bit of light up there, but you know, that's fine. Totally fine. The bulk of it is insulated. Not any air is gonna really come through that. This one is not done. It's almost done. It's cut. I just have to stuff it and sew it. And you see the pool noodle fits nicely down in here, blocking the air from down here. That's what it looks like after I got it sewed. So very nice, thick seam there. And it just goes right down there like that. Now, of course, it's not perfectly square because, you know, I've added vines and stuff, but that's fine. All right, it's 3:30. I'm gonna have to go in and feed my dogs and take them for walks and whatnot. Maybe I'll get these done. I won't. I will get this one done. I'm sure I'll finish this one tonight. Maybe I can knock these out in the morning. I surely hope so. I'm gonna test this one over there and test. I know it's gonna be too long because this floor goes down some. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I can do tonight. I am Wonder Woman, right? Okay, so I finished the 4 panels up front last night. And I had just enough reflectant for those 4 panels. But the back panels at the back double doors, I did not have reflectant for. So I came to Lowe's this morning to buy some, and they are out. All they have is the ginormous rolls, and I don't need $60 worth of reflectant, so we'll have to wait. Okay, so this might be insulation overkill. Are they perfect? No, they're not perfect. Like, that corner is curved, and I just cut these squared, you know, they're just rectangles. So that side kind of had to fold back, you know, that's fine. These are meant to be functional, first and foremost, and kind of pretty, okay? And I've accomplished that. Now, one thing that I think I will do, you can see light at the tops, and that's because of gravity, okay? When they're hanging here, the bubble insulation stuff kind of slides down. So I think what I'll do is I'll take them down, I'll make sure the bubble stuff is pulled to the top, and I'm going to run a stitch through the bubble stuff at the top. That way they'll stay in place and they won't sag down. But overall, I am pleased. I'm very, very pleased. It is just so quiet in here. So I've made it so that I trap the heat, and I've also created a sound barrier, okay? Like, it is so quiet in here that it's loud, all right? You know, like after it snows a few inches outside, you walk outside, and it's like so quiet that your ears are screaming. That's kind of like what it is in here right now. Now, I went to Lowe's, as you saw, and they were out of the bubble reflectant insulation stuff. So I couldn't do the back panel or this window. But the remnants that I cut off the bottom of these 4 panels is exactly enough to make a panel to fit back there, so that's good. I'll just have to use a different fabric for that window, and that, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I'm very, very, very pleased with how this budget winterization project turned out. It's going to keep me warm. And yes, my toilet is in there in the cold part, but I'm by myself in here. So at night, I'll just take my toilet out and park it like right there, okay? So if I have to pee in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, I can just jump over there and pop a squat. It's not going to matter. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome. What do you think? I think it turned out fabulous. I can't wait to test it out. Like, I need it to get real cold again, because it's kind of warmed up now outside. It's been in the 40s overnight. So I need a cold front to move in so I can come out here and test this stuff out and see just how warm it is. Because I would like to just turn the heater on 30 minutes to an hour before bed, warm it up in here, and then turn the heater off. And it should be warm enough in here through the night to not use the heater. So that's the goal. Hopefully it will work out. So this is the heater I got. And honestly, just on the low setting, I think it has a high and a low. Anyways, on the low setting should be fine in here. It's going to be hot, I think. And I am buying carbon monoxide detectors. Probably going overboard with them, but I plan to put one in there with Casper, one down here somewhere, and then, I don't know, one in my bunk area somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, so I am going to be safe, hopefully. If not, I'll just have a very good sleep, I guess. I know that's not funny, but, you know, we can only protect ourselves so much. There's only so many precautions we can take. If something's going to happen, I guess it's going to happen. And now I'm just going to shut up because I'm talking too deep now. All right. Let me get mic'd up here. Is that good? Let's talk about Jerry, because Jerry is gone. I want to fill you in without filling you in, because I can't give you every detail, and I'm going to explain that. My life is shifting, okay? It's shifting. And where I live, it comes with a lot of rules, almost like gag orders, okay? Especially when you live and you work here, you don't have any protection. You basically have to live and act like you're an employee in customer service 24/7. And you have like 300 neighbors, and they all need to like you, okay? Because the rule here is, and we had to sign a contract, that if you live here and you work here, if you get fired or if you quit on bad terms, then you have 7 days to vacate the property. And it just says bad terms. So that's a broad label. They determine what is bad terms. And I'm not talking bad about the company or the campground. I'm just saying that if you live and work here, you have to toe the line. You have to mind your P's and Q's, because bad terms could be anything. Oh, so-and-so don't like you. That's bad terms, right? And having to vacate a property within 7 days kind of feels illegal when you live here. It kind of feels like if you pushed it, they would have to evict you, right? And go through the whole process. But they have a sign of paper, and maybe it's legal. I don't know. if you get fired or quit, you have 7 days to vacate. So when you have that, you kind of walk on eggshells. You kind of live on eggshells. And I don't want to say too much because there are people here that watch my channel. I don't think they comment. I haven't seen them in the comments. If they have, I don't know, because I don't know who's commenting if we don't have a personal relationship. If I don't know your screen name, I don't know who you are. You're Jolly Good Giant 3946. You know, I mean, I don't, that's all I know. You guys see my face, you know who I am. I don't know who I'm talking to unless I've spoke with you personally or you've introduced yourself to me in the comments and so on. I do know people here watch my channel because they have said so verbally, you know, to me in person. Some of the people that watch me like me. Some of the people that watch me don't. I mean, that's life. Some people don't like you for whatever reason. And that's their prerogative. But anyways, I don't want to babble. I just want to say that's why I don't put personal stuff on my channel, because living in a campground, it's like junior high school meets retirement center. Okay? And it's gossipy and it's clicky here, and word travels fast, and what you say here after it spreads around is completely different when it reaches this person. And so I try to just keep my mouth shut, and I don't talk about stuff that I don't want misconstrued, okay? So we're just going to bullet down to my life is shifting. I'm not going to give any more details right now, but Jerry is gone, all right? Sometimes you have to make tough decisions, okay? I'm losing money. I'm losing a dream. I'm crushing goals, and not crushing in a good way, crushing as in shit. So sometimes life throws you curveballs, and you just have to suck it up, you know, take the loss. I'm losing a lot of money because I've spent a lot of money in materials. $300 I paid for the camper. I drove 4 hours there and 4 hours back to pick it up. That's gas. That's wear and tear. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of energy and wasted a lot of hope and inspiration. But I'm not sad about it. I'm not. I did not have to get rid of Jerry. I was not forced to get rid of Jerry. This was a decision that I came to on my own, okay? And I did not make the decision lightly. It is what's best for me moving forward. And you will find out more as time goes on. But as of right now, this is all I can say. Goodbye to Jerry. Goodbye. That's just life. That's my life, and that's what it is right now. So I hope you can take this explanation, if that's what it is, and I hope that's enough for you right now, because that's all I can give you right now. Yeah, that's it. So the focus is shifting back to the van, finishing up the details, and that's all I can say on that right now. You just have to stay tuned as things unfold over the next few weeks. And that's all I have to say about that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project. I know it was super simple, but it has a big effect on how the van performs in the winter. You don't want to run a propane heater all night while you sleep. It's dangerous. I know it says indoor safe, but this is a very small space. Something I've learned that I didn't know, okay? I like to learn how things work, and maybe some of you don't know this. So the propane heater, it is made for indoors, but I'm not going to say it perfect because I can't remember it word for word. But basically what it does, it kind of eats up your oxygen, okay? It'll burn up your oxygen, and so you need some kind of vent. Even though it's indoor safe, you need some kind of vent because, say, me and the dogs in here and the heater, we're breathing and using our oxygen in here and expressing carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide, whichever they are. We're breathing up the oxygen and the heater's burning up the oxygen. And so you need some kind of vent to let more oxygen trickle in, okay? So you want to crack an upper window or something. My upper windows are blocked off. I plan to have my heater here, and I also plan to buy like those fire pit mats or something, or some kind of material that's fire resistant and doesn't get hot. I'm going to put a panel here and a panel here and one on the floor that will fold up so that when my heater's here, these areas are not getting hot and they're not going to catch on fire. For my venting, I have this vent here and the vent in the back that have the fans. Now, just running these fans alone is not a proper way to vent a propane heater. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the fan out for the winter of this one, all right, the lower one, and I'm just going to have a duct. This way, fresh air and oxygen can naturally flow through here. The back one, I haven't made up my mind yet if I want to remove the fan and just have an open duct, or if I want to leave the fan in that one sucking out, because this one I have blowing in, that one I have sucking out. I'm going to do a little more research. I might keep the fan in that one and run the fan at night sucking out, but I'm also afraid I might lose heat that way, so I'm conflicted on that one. But either way, I think this might be enough ventilation. Ventilation, is that right? But I also have a couple more ideas of adding more ventilation in here safely. So, because, I want to be safe about it. I don't want to suffocate. Yeah. Okay. Basically what I'm saying is this is a small space. You're using up more oxygen than is coming in. You need oxygen to come in. And I've sealed this up pretty well. So unless I create ventilation, I have no oxygen coming in, okay? So don't just slap a gas heater in your van and be done with it. You need a way for oxygen to trickle in. Remember that. And I'm babbling now. That's it, all right? That's it. That's it for the video. We'll finish up those panels and have them ready by next week. I need to finish this. I bought the stuff for it already. And I have some plans to reuse some of Jerry. Because Jerry's gone right now, but he's not gone. I still have access to Jerry. He's still mine. He's just not here. And I'm going to reuse some of the parts of Jerry on the van. So stick around for that. That's to come maybe next week, maybe next Sunday. Should be quite interesting. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, your views, your likes, your comments, your shares. I enjoy all of it, and it really helps the channel. It really does, and it's going to need more help than usual. Anyways, I need to be quiet. So, yeah, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next Sunday at 4 p.m.